Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today. It's Friday morning. It's August 20th, 2021. The man they call Meathead, Matthew Thomas, the M.O.T.S. Matthew, it's a big day in the world of PWR today and pro wrestling.
It is, and I'm about to hit the road here shortly, and just hope that.
Can I sing it?
Yeah, you can
sing. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
You know what? I think it would be better if Willie Nelson was Irish.
On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again.
Now that's the spirit. That gets me in the traveling spirit right there. That gets me through, hopefully, through those TSA lines. I'm still grounded here in Denver, but I do hope to be making my way through the Denver International Airport, if I can get through all the underground layers and the reptilians and all the crazy stuff going on over there, and actually land and get on the ground in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ooh, you know what? If Elvis were alive today, I wonder if he would sing On the Road Again. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Or would he do it slower? On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again.
You know what? That would be, man. That's got to be in my top 5 of songs that I wish Elvis would cover. You know, when you finally cut that album, that's a keeper.
Folks, I am not original by any means at all. I literally do impressions of people. I am an unoriginal bastard. Let's just get that part clear. One of my favorite ones to do is my version, or Richard Cheese's version, of the theme song to WKRP in Cincinnati. Have you ever heard it?
Oh, my goodness. Yes, but I've never heard your version of his version.
It's the exact same thing. I just do it as if I thought I was Richard Cheese.
That's wonderful.
No, it's that WKRP in Cincinnati. I mean, it really turns that song around, because the song was too poppy for me for the TV show, but it makes it sound sad.
Yeah. No, sometimes you just need a little bit of a different, different phrasing of a song can just kind of turn that all around and convey that, give you an emotional attachment you never knew you had to it.
You know what I have an emotional attachment to? My clothing gear that I wear that is wrestling related. Matthew, where can our listeners get a hold of some of that?
That would be if they take their computer or their phone or, whatever device they have that they access the World Wide Web, and they point that browser over to collarandelbowbrand.com. They can wear what we wear what I'm going to be wearing in Las Vegas. I don't think that there's...
Have you figured out which ones you're going to wear?
I don't know if there's going to be anything else in my suitcase other than my collar and elbow gear. And unfortunately...
for the Summer of Slam, which collar and elbow shirt you'll have on?
I'm a big fan of my Thank You for Wrestling with the shirt. I think I might have to bring that out. And it's white, so it doesn't, attract the heat. And keep in mind, this is Las Vegas in August. And if you've ever been to Vegas in August, it is a dry, hot climate. And keep in mind, too, the time that SummerSlam starts on the East Coast, well, you rewind that about 3 hours. That's going to be the time that it starts in Vegas, because Vegas is Pacific time, right, Meathead?
I believe it is.
Yes.
I don't think it's Mountain. I think it's on the other side.
It's Pacific. So Pacific. You rewind that about 3
Specifically
hours.
Pacific.
3 hours back. So we're going, a 7 Eastern start for SummerSlam? It's either 7 or 8 Eastern.
It's 8 Eastern, 7 Central. It'll be 5 Pacific.
So 5 Pacific. You got to stop and think, like, we're going to get there for dark matches and whatnot, at least hour and a half, 2 hours before. That's 3 p.m. Like, what time? And the good thing is we're actually staying apparently walking distance from the stadium. I mean, technically anywhere is walking distance from anywhere on the continent you're in. So that's not really a good, term. No, think about it.
Unless you're Jesus, and then anywhere on the planet's really walking distance, right?
So I think walking distance is a term that's overused.
You think it's an oxymoron?
Yeah, exactly. But it's not that far of a walk. So technically we're going to be walking. And again, we go mid-afternoon Vegas heat. That's why I'm going to be wearing my white Thank You for Wrestling with this shirt that's available exclusively at collarandelbowbrand.com. Enter promo code LindaK to save 10%. You can save that 10%. And then if you go to a wrestling event, you can buy yourself a hot dog.
Well, that's really, if there's no other reason to do it, just to make money to save to buy a hot dog, because you might get hungry at one of these 4.5-hour events.
Yeah, no, I've got to rethink my hot dog condiments. I haven't had a lot of hot dogs.
You ever had
recently.
a pocket dog?
Oh, those are my favorite, man. Those are my favorite because you know what? It's still warm, but it's not like scalding hot. That's why I like that's why I'm most fond of the pocket dogs. But yeah, I did sauerkraut and mustard last time, and man, it was not a good decision.
No. All right, let's do a little bit of news before we get into what's coming up for tonight and what happened last night as well. Tony Kahn promises the most anticipated announcement in AEW history on Rampage. So far in our wrestling world, we've been told the greatest thing is ever going to happen always ends up being a huge letdown. AEW's track record, however, has been pretty good. Yeah. AEW has fulfilled most of their promises, most of their hype machines, and come through. I can think of the mysterious person who's going to show up in the casino battle royale not being as prominent, with the hype and speculation of bigger names out there. But you know what? I believe this is going to be, I think this is pretty much a fastball down the middle, right out of the park. I believe tonight on Rampage, we will see the Second City Saint, the Crazy Mariachi, Phil Brooks, CM Punk.
Oh, without a doubt. And the question at this juncture is, how do they do it and where do they do it? Because you start off with it, everything else, the rest of the show, it's going to be hard to get that momentum back. If you don't do it at the beginning and do it at the end, man, all these other matches, you run the risk of CM Punk chance throughout the entire show. So it's just, I'm really curious as to how it plays out, where it's at in the run of the show. And you know what I'm going to throw out there. I don't know that they'll necessarily do it, but we got the card for tonight. We got Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy, I believe. Is that tonight or is that
no? Matt Hardy. No. Tonight it looks like it's going to be Private Party and Jurassic Express. Mm-hmm. I don't have the other two in front of me right now.
Do you remember? Do you remember that Raw that aired from England where Shawn Michaels and John Cena went an hour, and how they had the matches announced for the rest of the show, and eventually you got to, hey, we're going to have to cancel these matches.
Right.
What's the likelihood that these matches are just red herrings? It opens with Punk, and he cuts a 60-minute promo.
I don't know about a 60-minute promo, but he cuts a promo that changes the entire card.
Yeah. Without a doubt. I mean, this is So the speculations and the buzz is high to the level that if it was not going to happen, they would have basically had to come right out and temper those expectations. And they've not done that. They've kept playing into it. And if you remember some of the critique that was going around from apparently TNT was that the network brass was not that happy that they did not announce Sting when he made his initial appearance to Papa Rating.
He just showed up.
Yeah.
Winter is here.
Yep, exactly. And I think they're trying to straddle that line with this and the fact that hint, nudge, nudge, he's going to be here, without coming right out and saying it. And that's what they've done throughout this whole process. And any chance they've had to backpedal, they haven't. They have, quintessentially doubled down. So, yeah, we get Punk tonight. When do we get it in the show? I mean, it's, where in that hour does it come, man? I don't know.
That's the thing. It's an hour.
Yeah.
It's either the top or the bottom. It's not going to be in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun. It's fun to know.
Does WWE counter program tonight?
What in the world can they do?
Well, if it's assumed that it's at the top of the hour for Rampage, do they ask Fox for 15-minute overrun?
Yeah. Here's the thing. And as much as I'm looking forward to going to SummerSlam this weekend, there's no momentum within that entire company right now that they could do anything to generate the buzz.
They've already lost their momentum from going live.
Yeah. It's just I don't know
It was like they got a little patch of downhill, and then they ran into a brick wall again.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing they could do to counter program this is if they have just been feeding the dirt sheets all this stuff, and WWE has in fact signed Punk. Punk is the only thing that could top Punk to counter program it with.
You can't top anything else. No one else can top that.
I don't.
Hogan
think so.
buying the company from Vince McMahon.
I don't.
Ric Flair finding out that he's pregnant with, somebody's baby. I mean, there's something wild.
You can have maybe an alleged picture of an alleged person who kind of looks like Ric Flair on a train. Maybe if you do that live on network TV, you might be able to, get some views. But I don't think there's anything within the confines of the
limo blowing up again.
There's nothing within the confines of the professional wrestling industry. I mean, you can't do it, man. You can't do it. That is the only thing that could potentially counter program it, is if all of this is a ruse. And I mean, but you would have to go to a level that Tony Kahn is in on it, and he's perfectly fine with being, because
WWE purchased AEW, and Tony Kahn is actually related to Nick Khan.
Yeah. The name on the contract says Khan, but not Tony Khan. Yeah. Now you can't do it. You can't do it, man. WWE just, they should do their best with their go home Smackdown, but my goodness. And the thing of it is, to their credit, I mean, I think they've been putting up pretty good Smackdown shows. I mean, Smackdown has become the flagship. Yeah. And again, I go back to, I think part of it is, I mean, the stars on there, but the tightness of 2 hours versus 3.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me think of the night that WCW finally came back and beat WWE after the 83-week run where they had the return of the Four Horsemen. WWE, there was nothing they were going to do to counter program it.
Put this question to you. Outside of maybe Goldberg and Hogan from the Georgia Dome, can you think of another episode of free TV professional wrestling that has the momentum and the build-up that it does tonight in Chicago?
Goldberg Hogan was something else. I can tell you where I was that specific night. Yeah. I know exactly where I was. Free TV. Ooh. Mick Foley winning the championship.
Yeah.
That'll put some butts in seats.
Yeah. But then again, I think, as historic as it is, you do have something that was a tape delay that people knew the result of, and this is still just wide open.
TV momentum, and WCW helped it.
Yeah. And the thing with Goldberg and Hogan, I would give this a little bit of a nudge, because this has had the time to build up and simmer and for people to get hot about it. The Goldberg Hogan thing, man, that was announced Thursday on a Thunder for Raw, for Nitro on Monday, right? I mean, the Georgia Dome, the building was there, the show was going to happen there, but you had a Thursday to a Monday momentum build. I mean, this thing has been
wasn't there a pay-per-view that Sunday as well?
Yeah, there was a pay-per-view that following Sunday.
Because I mean the Sunday before Hogan. So Thursday Thunder, then that Sunday Goldberg defended his United States Championship against Kurt Hennig. And then I think he defended against Raven, and then he had to wrestle Hennig. I might have my names crossed up by the dates, but Goldberg had to re-earn his title match on that Monday Nitro by defeating, I want to say it was Kurt Hennig, actually, that Monday night. Then he got to have his match against Hogan.
Interesting. Man. And what else is going to be cool with this? Even those built-up shows like that, Nitro coming from the Georgia Dome, they were 3 hours at that point, right?
Yeah, they were officially 3 hours.
And I know there's going to be, Dark or Rampage, film, not Rampage. This is Rampage, but there's going to be Dark or Elevation, filmed prior to this. But my goodness, man, these guys they've got 1 hour for that sustained energy. It's a lot easier to keep up that sustained energy for 1 hour versus 2 or 3.
Well, I mean, I've been able to keep up my sustained energy a couple times for 3 to 4 minutes. I mean, I got a high five. I went and got a Gatorade after I was done.
Yeah, because you want to be like Mike.
I want to be like Mike. All right, let's
you
move
know
on
what?
to Tony Kahn.
Gatorade tasted
We've
so
talked
much
long
better
enough.
so much better in glass bottles, man. So much better in glass bottles.
Let's go back to one more bit of news. Holly and Shawn Daivari are now full-time WWE producers. I swear to you, Matthew, I saw Davari on Impact no more than a week to 2 weeks.
Last week. Yeah, that tells you how quick the world changes.
I mean, either that it was taped a month ago and they said, you know what, I'm done with my Impact Wrestling. You know, you guys got a job. Cool.
Although,
I love having. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure last week, though, I did see Matt Cardona on there with no sign of being thralled with glass. So it's very possible that it was taped.
Right. You mean any remnants of his face and body?
Yeah. Any remnants of glass light tubes and pizza cutters and any other types of various glass shards.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that sugar glass that they use in the movies and TV. And when you bust it open, it just kind of sprinkles out. So who knows? But Holly and Shawn Daivari, the talk was that now that Holly and Shane Helms are in the company as producers, and Nikki ASH is on Raw as a women's champion, do they help her be a better superhero? She's almost a superhero.
Yeah, you know, I'm very curious to see what the energy of the stadium is on Saturday. You know, I'm curious about it seems like there's been a lot of mixed reactions to Nikki ASH. I mean, on TV, it's come across pretty good. I'm reading multiple reports of house shows where it is not a positive response. Oh my goodness. I honestly did not expect her to win Money in the Bank, did not expect her to cash in this quick. I mean, prior to this, there really wasn't much of a push there. So this title run really intrigues me. And I'm not completely discounting the fact that she doesn't retain on Saturday.
Well, I mean, that's where Charlotte gets her belt back.
We'll see.
I mean, because I'm not just winning one belt. I'm going to win multiple belts. Matter of fact, over the weekend, I see myself winning the Raw Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then on Sunday I take it to the moon.
Yeah. No, it's possible. It's possible. And I'm going to have situations where I lose belts and then gain belts in the same match.
Quite possibly. And it'll be a wash for you. So we'll have to see how that goes. But that is what we've got in store. We've got SmackDown and Rampage tonight. SmackDown to go home for SummerSlam tomorrow night. And then Sunday, we've got NXT TakeOver. What is NXT going to look like in the next week?
Who knows? Who really knows? I mean, as much as I want to see my member of Team Nelson Mandela retain, you know, with Karrion Kross's flirtation with the main roster now, I think you do get some eyes on that product if there is a Joe title reign there. So I think that's a strong possibility.
Let's talk about the rosters real quick before we go for the day. Here's what we're going to have in action this weekend. Matthew Thomas, you've got Roman Reigns, you've got Lashley, you've got the Raw and SmackDown men's champions. You've got the Raw men's tag team champions in Orton and Riddle. You've also got, I may be thinking ahead there, Styles and M.O.T.S. But you will have Orton and Riddle, RK Bro, in that match as well. You've also got Rhea Ripley in the women's title match. I have the men's SmackDown champions, the men's SmackDown champions, the former champions. Boy, can you tell it's Friday and it's time to go? I've got the Mysterios.
You do, don't you? But here's the thing. There was an omission made. You forgot about the United States champion and Sheamus that's on Team Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, I did forget about it, but did I though?
You got winded from talking about all those people that I'm going to have on that pay-per-view earning
You
points.
also have the NXT champion,
Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross.
And I've got the $1
million champion.
$1 million champion. Oh, that's a lot of gold, man.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but at some point we will have the appearance of Becky Lynch, the man. Here's Linda Kay. Linda Kay is a very heavy AEW roster, right? She has the current women's SmackDown champion, Bianca Belair. She's also got New Day. I don't know if they have a match, but they'll probably appear in the background of somebody's promo selling T-shirts. She's got Finn Balor, but not announced for a match yet. She also has Alexa Bliss, who I believe is taking on Eva Marie.
Yep.
And she's got a man that we hadn't seen in a long time in the name of John Cena, who's getting a title.
That's true. That's true.
The man they call Meathead has Charlotte, who's going to win the belt on Saturday. He also has Drew McIntyre, who has now a match against Jinder Mahal. I have the mysterious former tag team champions. I have Sasha Banks, who will win the women's SmackDown championship. I've also got Cameron Grimes for Sunday when he wins the $1 Million championship. Seth Rollins getting that one-on-one match with Edge. I don't know, man. I'm feeling it. It's looking good.
I tell you what, though, it's going to be interesting looking at these numbers at the end of Saturday. Actually, the end of Sunday.
End of Sunday,
rather, because, there's not that big of a gap between Nelson Mandela and the man they call Meathead. And you might get some moist, hot, sticky breath on the back of your neck if you don't get surpassed.
You sound like Grandpa Joe Biden. You're the Montana to my Idaho.
Come on, man.
Have you seen that picture?
Yes, you know what? I saw your post the other day. That I need to.
I researched it. That's a legitimate map. It's not embellished. That's what it looks like.
So here's the thing with me. Growing up on the East Coast and stuff, I know. I'm pretty good with my coast states, but as far as the middle part of the country, which is where I live right now, I'm terrible with those states. I do need to freshen up my state. It wouldn't be geography, would it? Like just actually look mapography. I need to freshen up my mapography.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you say mapography and see how long that works. All right, Matthew, that's it. The weekend, it's here. We will hear from the M.O.T.S, the Matthew on the street. Matthew, you promised we'd get some audio, and we'll find a way to get that on the program this coming week for PWR Today, all right?
Oh, 100%. I guess
I want some on-the-street interviews out of the building. I want to know, how people are feeling after certain matches.
I guess the easiest thing to do is for me to, basically mail you the cassettes from my tape recorder after
listen to your Stagger Lee Marshall.
Yeah. What's your mailing address?
Pony.express@ponyexpress.com.
Fantastic. How many stamps, I wonder, will it take to get there? Yes,
you're
indeed.
Gonna need a roll of stamps.
Some awesome man on the street M.O.T.S audio coming your way this weekend.
That's right. You should be wearing a GoPro, honestly, walking around the entire area with your little mask on.
Yeah, that's exactly. Or maybe I can put a GoPro on the mask. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. And I'm gonna see. I don't know that I told you, but I'll share it with everybody on the air. I know where our conversation turned to urinal troughs a few weeks ago. Not only in the last 2 weeks have I found a urinal trough, last weekend, and I meant to send you the picture and I never got around to it, but I found a sink trough.
Oh. You weren't trying to wash your hands in it, were you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I did wash
and then you had the cook tell you that you're a little frittata.
Well, and I took a picture too, which I was very kind of paranoid about, public photography in a restaurant.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, if you start snapping pics by my dicks when they're in the trough. All right, Matthew, this conversation's gone the wrong way. For Matthew Thomas, I'm the man they call Meathead. We are waiting to see what M.O.T.S has from SummerSlam this Saturday in Vegas. We'll talk to you Monday morning. So long, everyone.